Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I make ceviche. So I bought my ceviche from Cadenas Market, which is a Mexican store, and they sell their fish already cut up. So that makes everything easier for me. I rinsed it. That's very, very important to rinse it. And I'm just going to evenly spread it out. I'm going to be using pink salt because this is all I have. You can use any salt you want, you guys. And just kind of cover it everywhere. It doesn't have to be too much, but you just want the flavors to really meld in there. We need plenty of lime to cook the fish. So let's get squeezing. And now I'm going to press it down and just make sure that the fish is covered by the lime juice. See how it's like nicely pressed. See all that juice? And now we're going to put this in the refrigerator and let that cook. Now we're going to start cutting the vegetables, and I'm going to start with the tomatoes. I'm going to be using 3 tomatoes for 2 pounds of fish. You want to cut everything really small. You want it to be nice and neat when you cut it. Like, so I mean, look how I'm. Close the back door, please. How small that is. That's how small you want it to be. I'm just gonna put this aside. Okay, so now that that's nice and done, now I'm gonna cut cucumber. And I'm gonna be slicing it down here. Slicing it there, slicing it in 4, and I'm gonna try to take out the middle as much as I can, just like this part. We don't need that. And then I'm going to cut it one more time. One more time. Alright, so now that I have this here, I'm going to do that one more time. We're going to be using 2 cucumbers. Alright, so now that we have both of our cucumbers nice, and we're going to just kind of, and you just want to make sure that you're cutting everything nice and small, like uniform. Nice and short. And now I'm just going to go over it one more time and just make sure that I got everything cut. Be adding some jalapenos. I'm going to be adding 3 jalapenos in this, depending on how spicy you want it. I'm just going to add 3 just for a little kick. And the way you're going to cut these is also very small. Okay, so I always pull like as much of the middle out as I could. Where you're going to be making 4 slices out of this. Right. Alright, so now that this is cut, we're going to add that in. Now we're going to be adding onion. I'm going to be using white onion for this, just because the flavors are more mild. So I'm only going to be using half an onion for this, especially because this is a huge onion. Going to get rid of the first layer. I never use the first layer on onion just because I imagine people touch it and I'm like, ew, stop touching my onion. Okay, so now that we have this, we're gonna just slice it down the middle, not all the way to the back where that's at, because that's gonna hold it together for you. You're just gonna slice some thin slices, again, not all the way towards the back, all the way down. Oh, I just cut my nail. Okay. Okay, so you see how this is stuck together? And now we're just gonna slowly, I never use a front either. Okay, we're gonna, very thin slices, as thin as you can get them. There's nothing like a big old chunk of onion. Okay. Let's see. All right. And add that in. Lastly, we're gonna add our cilantro. Unwrap your cilantro, and now you're gonna have a bunch of it. You're not gonna be using the ends, but you need this kind of to hold it. I always like to kind of fold it over like that. Like it just makes it easier to cut. Okay, so now I'm just gonna slice it. Okay, but you still want it to be small, so we're just gonna... Okay, so now we're gonna kind of mix this up. Make sure the onion's not stuck together. That's why I use my hands, just because I like to control. And that's why I keep short nails, because I do cook with my hands. You could just kind of see, like look at this onion, it's kind of big. Kind of crack it in half. I'm not going to use all of this for the batch of ceviche I have in the refrigerator. I'm going to use part of it for the vegetarian ceviche. So go ahead and hand me the fish, please. Faith is going to be my lovely assistant. You want to say hi?
Do I have to actually touch it?
No, just hand it to me. It's in one of these.
Those I don't trust those.
Oh my God, can you please hurry? Thank you. And give me the mushrooms. Imagine if it just fell on your right. Put it right here. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 big handfuls, and then that we're going to put aside, and then we're going to just mix all this up. I think I'm going to need 2 mushrooms.
2 mushrooms?
I'm just going to kind of mix it together. You guys, I know it might be gross to you, like that I do this with my hands. You can use a spoon if you want, but I just like to feel what I'm cooking, and that's just the way it is. You can already see that the fish is cooked. It's not cooked completely, like it still has to be obviously inside of there. I need somebody to put the salt on for me. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna press it down. You just wanna make sure that it's completely covered in lime, because it still has some cooking to do. And that's it, you guys. Now we just wait like about an hour. Okay, so we're gonna saran wrap this. Okay, and we're just gonna put this in the fridge for an hour, and we're gonna work on the vegetarian ceviche. All right, guys, so we're gonna cut these mushrooms up like if it was fish, and we're just gonna add it to all these vegetables that are already made. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm not gonna be using the ends. This is the technique I'm using. I'm slicing it across, making it flat. Slicing it. I always have to find a technique in the way I do things. I'm just cutting in little pieces. Okay. The ends. And just so you guys know, like, if you guys are like a part of my channel, like if you guys follow my vlogs, because I'm a daily vlogger, I always have to cook separate meals for myself being a vegetarian. I've only been a vegetarian for 6 months now. No one else in my family is a vegetarian except for my son, who's 4 years old. He's the only one who is about that life. But I've gotten used to making separate meals, and I find little shortcuts, like for example, like having this, setting some aside. And obviously, like, a lot of things are not going to taste the same, but I mean, you can get used to it. You know what I mean? You can adapt to it, and it's worth it, you guys. Like, you're saving animals. Like, it's worth it. You want it to be even with this. It's a good ratio. Okay, so I didn't use too many. I just want kind of like cover the top of it. You know, with the mushrooms, you can put as many as you want though, but I don't want too many. I'm going to enjoy the vegetables. Now we're going to add our salt. Now let's add the lime. All right, now that we've added the lime, we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna pat it down, make sure that I don't have too many limes. I would add more lime personally. And we're gonna cover it and we're gonna let it marinate. And see you soon. So this is what it's gonna look like afterwards. I mean, it's just so good. It takes about 2 hours. You want to leave it inside the refrigerator for 2 hours, and this is what it's going to look like. The fish is going to be like still. That's how you're going to know it's ready. So that's ready. And here's the vegetarian, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and make a tostada. All right, let's try it. Wow. It's so freaking good. I was afraid that it was gonna taste like salsa, but I don't even miss the fish. See you guys on my next video.